Evil Dead Rise
will be.
is the newest movie by director Lee Cronin.
And the last conversation I had with Sam Raimi before I got on the plane, and it was the last 5 minutes, which was, oh, wait a minute, you like Evil Dead? And I was kind of, again, I've got to go and get on a plane.
Starring Lily Sullivan as Beth, and it's the 5th movie in the Evil Dead franchise, but it's also by far the worst.
What are you, crazy?
Let's take a look at the positives first. It'll be fast anyway. This movie has some style, not as much as the other 4 in the series, but it still captures some good moments. Like a scene where we see a bloodbath happen through a door's peephole,
Open up now.
You don't look so good, Mom.
Nothing a big old kiss from you won't fix.
or seeing our main character get literally showered with blood and guts.
You'd be a good mom someday, honey Beth.
Oh, yeah?
But there's also some clearly failed attempt at style, like paying homage to the elevator scene in The Shining, which at this point is a bit like the shower scene from Psycho. Everybody's done it. The use of the split diopter with 2 focus points was also strange. It seemed like an afterthought more than anything else. I did also enjoy how they basically reversed the roles of the demon and the trapdoor by having the family trapped instead, but this time inside their own house. So there were a couple of good scenes, which is as much as I can say of positive about this movie. The reality is that this movie feels even less like Evil Dead than Army of Darkness.
Groovy. You know your shoelace is untied.
I wouldn't be surprised to find out that this script had been written long before they attached the Evil Dead name to it. Story-wise, apart from the appearance of a Necronomicon lookalike,
What is this, Danny?
I found it.
What will I
there's not much attaching this movie to the franchise, either in tone or setting or even look. Apart from the demon POV, it really doesn't look like anything Evil Dead. It's mostly a tedious movie, either because it is set inside an apartment, which could work as a modern resetting of the rundown cabin. Instead, it's just really boring. It's basically just a random place. It's barely utilized apart from like 2 scenes in an elevator. It's just not a fun or particularly scary place. And as much as I don't want to talk about realism because it doesn't really matter in a movie like this, it's also quite unbelievable that they are completely desolated in this building. I guess the downstairs neighbors are used to the noise and the broken stairs and elevator. It's also a very boring looking movie. It looks like any 2010s horror movie, very mute colors and dark lighting. Haven't we gotten enough of this already? You're making a Evil Dead movie, why not take advantage of that? The CGI also makes it look like, again, any 2010s horror movie. I'm not asking them to go all practical low budget like the original. I mean, those guys already suffered enough with that, but at least try a bit. Having people act in front of a green screen and doing it all on post makes it very hard to believe anything. Even though it's not bad CGI, it's still obviously CGI. This movie is also weirdly structured. It has an epilogue that really seemed like a flash forward, but it wasn't. What was it? Because as it is, it's like a post-credit scene, but played before the movie even starts. It's completely disconnected from the story, and I was already 45 minutes into it before I figured out that we weren't going back there, and the movie was actually gonna be set inside a boring apartment. My biggest question with this movie is, where the funny?
Swallow this.
Why is Evil Dead not funny? Like, what's the point? Is it because comedy horror is harder to write? Because I mean, you failed anyway. This movie ain't scary or creepy. It's obvious and overplayed. We've seen the broken arms, the stabbies, the wide open mouths, and the copious amount of viscous liquids, including but not limited to blood. Jump scares are not actually scary. At most you can get startled by this movie, or get sick if you don't like to see the combination of like 5 bodies get ground to bits. I wasn't a big fan of the 2013 Evil Dead.
Why don't you come down here so I can suck your cock, pretty boy?
But at least it seemed like the people making it genuinely wanted to do something Evil Dead related. Evil Dead Rises seems like it was made by people who watched the original once and later just read opinions about it on Reddit. It's barely inspired. I also just quickly want to point out how annoying the little girl was.
To cut you all open. Been inclined.
The actress was fine, she's young and I really don't think it's her fault, but it's such a badly written character. Little girls are not this dumb and naive, nor this strong and brave. By the end of the movie, she is just actively killing the demon in possession of her mother's body. You'd think that a little girl would have a little bit of trouble in the middle of all the blood and gore, especially when her dead mother is involved. But I guess not.
What will be, will be.
So, Evil Dead Rises is a 10-year-old horror movie that traveled in time. 3 out of 10. And that's everything for this video. Hope to see you again soon, and until then, the theater is closed.